Okay, so let's select our piece there for the fins and take a look at our reference. Alright, so I don't think we really need this one. I'm just going to close this and let's take a look here. Alright, so it looks like it has 6 little fins on it. Okay. Alright, you can see on this one there's a bit of a raised edge before it gets to that piece. Okay, so let's go into the left view. Alright, I think this looks a little too long, so let's go into the modified panel and go to vertex and just move these guys on the right just over a bit. Alright, we can always make this a little longer to match. Alright, so maybe like that, and let's go to edge. Okay, and let's drag through these guys and do a connect. Alright, I think I'm going to do 2 segments and just pinch them apart. Maybe I'll go 88 or so, and okay. And then I'm going to go to vertex again, alright, and just select this one here, one of those new loops, and just move it back. Alright, just to where these start to actually come out. Okay, just like that. And let's go to polygon. Alright, I'm just going to select all the side polys. Take a look here. Alright, all these guys. And I'm just going to extrude them a little bit to get some thickness. Alright, we'll do local normal. And this part doesn't have to be very much. Alright, let's do maybe, we'll do 2. And okay. Alright, just so it's a little raised above this surface when we pull it in. Okay, just like that. And let's go into isolation mode now, Alt Q. Okay, so I'm just going to select the back polygon and delete it for now by hitting delete. Okay, and there's really no reason to build this thing both sides at the same time. We can just build one side and mirror it over. Okay, so let's select the right half of it and delete it. Okay, and then I'm going to go in and just select that top polygon there, and then I'm going to skip 2 segments and grab 2 more, holding control. Alright, then we'll skip 2, select 2 more, and then we'll select the bottom one. Okay, so just those 6. Alright, and let's extrude. Okay, and for this we want to be on group, so our sides stay nice and straight. Okay, and we'll just take it up a bit. Alright, let's do maybe 6. And okay. Alright, just like that. And we'll go back to vertex. Okay, I'm just going to go to target weld, and we'll just weld these verts down to these ones here. Alright, just to get our slope on the fins. Okay. Just go along and do that on each one. Alright, just like that. Okay, and let's go back to polygon. We don't need this poly on the inside at the top or the bottom. Okay, so we'll select both those and delete them. Alright, and I think we got a bit of a weird angle here. Let's check it out in the front view. Alright, so we're going to mirror it over, so let's straighten this out so we don't have a problem welding it together when we're done. Alright, so we'll select the top and bottom verts and just pull them over on the X. Alright, just to make sure everything's kind of straight, and we can always select all these guys and go down to the make planar and just hit X. Alright, just to make sure everything's even. Okay, and we'll go back to perspective. Alright, so we are going to turbo smooth this piece, so we're going to need some support edges, but I'm going to try to avoid using a lot of them if I can, just because if we start adding support edges all over the place, this is probably going to turn out kind of weird shaped when we're done. When we smooth, we're not going to have it nice and round. It's going to probably have flat spots all over the place. Okay, so we'll use as few as possible. Okay, so let's go back to edge. Alright, so I'm just going to start on the top fin here, and we'll do a ring and a connect. Alright, and for this we only need to add 1 because this is only 1/2 of it. Alright, so we'll take it down to 1 segment, no pinch, and I'm just going to slide it over to the right side. Alright, maybe we'll do 80 or so, and okay. Alright, then I'm going to select this one here, just the bottom half of this one and the bottom half of this one, holding control, and we'll do a ring and just hit connect. Okay, to get our support edges, and then we'll do this guy here and this guy here, the top of both those pieces and the bottom one. Okay, and ring and connect. Okay, and we'll just put a minus in here, minus 80 on the slide, and hit OK just to reverse it. Okay, so it's even. Alright, we're probably going to need one at the back here, so let's grab this edge, and we'll just do a ring and a connect. Alright, we'll do 2 segments, and no slide, and we'll just pinch them apart just a bit. Alright, maybe 40, and OK. And we might want to do one around here as well, so let's grab that edge and ring, connect. Alright, we probably only really need one here. Alright, so one, no pinch, and I'm just going to slide it up a bit. Alright, we'll do negative 65 or so, and OK. Alright, and we're probably going to need one at the front here as well. Okay, so let's grab one of these guys and ring, connect, and we'll do 2, no slide. We'll just pinch them apart. Alright, maybe 70, and OK. Alright, and we're going to need some across the fins here, so let's grab all these guys and connect again. Alright, and again we'll use 2, and I'm just going to pinch them apart. Okay, we'll do 95 on these guys, and OK. Alright, so I'm not really going to add any in between them, or any more on the fins if I can help it, just because I want to make sure that we're going to maintain, you know, a somewhat round shape when we're done, else it's not really going to look right. Okay, but we're probably going to need one here, so let's grab one of these guys and do a ring and a connect. Alright, and again I'm just going to do 1, no pinch, and we'll just slide it up to the top. Alright, maybe negative 70, and OK. Alright, so I'm hoping that'll hold the shape good enough when we smooth. Let's exit edge and just put a turbo smooth on this and see if it holds up. Okay, so back into the modify list, turbo smooth. Alright, we'll do 2 iterations and isoline display. Okay, and turn off our edges at 4. Alright, you can see we're starting to get flat spots here. Okay, let's just take a look around the back. I'm not too worried about this rolling actually in like that. I think that actually might, you know, look probably a little better, but the front's going to need a little bit of work. Alright, you can see the back's not perfectly round either. Okay, so let's drop back to edit poly. Okay. Alright, and again that's just because we have support edges that are really close together here. Okay, so it's going to create kind of a flat spot when it's smooth because they're not evenly spaced. So what I might try to do is just space these out manually a bit. Okay, so let's go to vertex. Alright, I'm just going to start on this guy here. Okay, and I'll grab these ones. Okay, so just the ones on the support edge. And we'll take those 5, and I'm just going to go down and turn the edge constraints on. Okay, and we'll just move these over a bit on the X. Right, pull them over like that. Alright, just to give it some space. Alright, we'll do the same thing down here. Alright, we're going to start on this one right here, and we'll grab these guys holding control. Okay, so 5 again, and we'll just move these down on the Z. Alright, just to space them out a bit. Okay, and same with these guys here. Take these 5. Alright, we'll move them up. Alright, maybe a little more. Okay, we'll go down and do the same thing on this guy. Alright, so these guys here. Those 5. Alright, and down on the Z. Alright, these guys up on the Z. Okay, and this is the last one. And it might not turn out perfectly round, but I'm hoping it'll be good enough. Okay, so just move these guys out on the X. Okay. And let's turn off vertex and just hit show end result. Okay, turn off our edges at 4. Alright, so it's a little better, but it's still there. take another look here. Okay, what I might do is pull these ones over this way a bit. Alright, so we'll grab these guys here. Okay, those 5, and we'll just push them back this way a bit. Okay, just like that. Same with these guys. And these are the ones actually coming from the edge of the fin. Okay. Don't want to do that. Move them on the X. Alright, so just back a bit, kind of even it out. And these guys. Alright, down a bit. Just going to kind of even them out so this support edge here is just kind of in the center. Alright. Doesn't have to be perfect, just as even as you can. Alright. On the X. Alright, pull them out. Alright, and last one. Okay, just like that. Alright, so they're a little more even. Alright, that should help. Let's check it out. We'll turn off vertex, hit show end result. Okay, and F4. Alright, so that's a little better. Again, it's not perfectly round, but you know, I don't know if you'd really notice that it wasn't perfect when the rest of the stuff's in there. Alright, so you can continue to play with this if you want to. I think just for the sake of speed, I'm just going to leave it like that and move on. Alright, and check out the back here. And some of this is probably going to be hidden when we're done. Alright, so I might leave it for now. Okay. So we'll say that's good enough, and again, take more time if you want to. Alright, so I'm just going to delete the turbo smooth modifier temporarily. Okay, turn our edges back on, F4, and let's put a symmetry on this. Alright, so back into the modify list, down to symmetry. Alright, and let's hit flip on the x-axis. Alright, if that doesn't work for you, just try the different ones until you get this result. Alright, and let's put a turbo smooth on top of this. 2 iterations, isoline display. Alright, turn our edges off. Alright, so that's not too bad. Again, it's not perfect, but it's probably good enough. Okay, so let's exit isolation mode and just see how it looks on the actual rocket. Alright, just going to hit Z. Alright, so we're going to have to bring these edges in a bit to fit our motor. Okay, we're going to have to make this a little longer as well. Alright, but before we do that, let's just name this so we know what it is. Okay, I'm just going to call it rocket warhead fins. Okay, and we'll center the pivot on it. Alright. Okay, so I'm just going to go into the back here. Alright, and we'll go back to the modify panel. Just going to drop down to edit poly. Okay, and if you want to take a little more time, you could come in and do the same thing we did on the front back here. You could spread these guys out, alright, just to make it a little more round. Alright, I'm just thinking if I should do that or not. Alright, maybe I'll do it quickly. Okay, so Alt-Q again. Alright, I'm just going to turn off the turbo smooth and the symmetry by hitting the little light bulbs. Okay, so we'll just do this really, really quick. Alright, so I'm going to drop back to edit poly. Go to vertex. Alright, and we'll just start here and just grab these guys again. Alright, and again, you probably could leave it if you wanted to. You know, you don't need to necessarily do it. Alright, so I'm just going to pull this one out. Okay, and I'll get these guys while I'm at it. We'll just pull these the other way. Alright, same with these ones. Alright, just make sure you're only moving 5 at a time. Alright, pull them over. Okay. these on the X. Now I'm just doing this pretty quickly, but if you want to take a little more time, be a little more careful, really get them evened out. That might be a good idea. Alright, so just like that. Alright, that should help a bit. Okay, so let's exit vertex. Alright, I'm just going to go to border. Okay, and we'll fix the back here. We might want to do a save before we do that. Okay, so save another copy. Okay, so before we pull that border, let's just dump the or exit border, delete the turbo smooth. Okay, turn on our symmetry by hitting the little light bulb. Okay, and I'm just going to convert it to editable poly, just to collapse the stack. Okay. Alright, and we should probably unhide everything else too. So exit isolation mode. Alright, just so we can see how far we need to come in. Okay, so now we'll go to border. I'm just going to select the back border. Do this in the front view. Okay, and we'll just go to scale, and I'm just going to hold shift and just scale down on the triangle. Okay, just to bring it in a bit. Okay. Alright, just to make sure you're not going to see an opening. Okay, so let's exit border and put our turbo smooth back on. Alright, 2 iterations, isoline display, and might as well chuck the gray on it while we're at it. Okay, so let's just take a look. Alright, I think that's, smooth enough. At a distance, you're never going to notice if it's completely perfectly round. Alright, but we obviously can't leave a big gap in it here, so let's fix that. Okay, so select the warhead, and we'll just do this the same way. I'm just going to drop down into edit poly and go to border and select this open border here. Okay, and we'll do this in the left view. Alright, so I'm just going to go to move, hold down shift, and just pull it over on the X until it goes into our other piece. Okay. Check it out here. Make sure we don't have any gaps. Alright, that looks pretty good. Okay, let's exit border. Just hit show end result. Alright. Alright, might need a little chamfer in here. Let's turn off show end result. I'm just going to select this loop here. Alright, we'll do a loop on it, and I'm just going to chamfer it a bit. Or you can see back there on the blueprint there's a little bit of a harder line. It's kind of hard to tell. So let's just chamfer. Alright, I'll just go up a bit on this. Alright, you can always hit show end result here when you're doing your chamfers to get a better idea of what it's going to look like. Right, so I'll do maybe just 1.2 and OK. Exit edge. Alright. Turn off our edges. Okay, so that's more the shape I think we need. Alright, so that's probably cool for this end. I think that takes care of that. Alright, so we just have a couple more pieces left. Alright, we got to do the shaft back here with the stabilizer fins, and then the offset fins at the back, and then I think we'll be done. Okay, so let's do another save just to be safe. Never a bad idea. Okay, so we'll move down and start working on the stabilizer fins here. Just going to take another look at the reference. Alright, I don't think this one's going to help us too much, so let's just close it. Check this one. Okay, so you can see there's also another cylindrical piece right here before those fins, so I think we should do this piece first. Alright, it's kind of hard to tell, but it looks like it has some holes cut in it. I would guess probably 4. Alright, so we'll say 4, and let's just build that piece first. Okay, so I'm just going to grab the warhead and the rocket and just hide it. Hide selection. Get it out of our way, and we'll jump into the front view for this. Okay, so let's go back to the create panel, standard primitives, and just grab a cylinder. And we'll drag one over here. Give it a little bit of height. Okay, and let's just make sure it's lined up properly. Alright, so we'll just use the align tool again, click on the motor, and XYZ, and OK. Alright, move it back to the back. Alright, so that's a little thin. Let's open up the modify panel. Alright, for the radius I'm just going to make it maybe 13. Okay, and the height let's do maybe 7. It's probably close. Alright, so we're going to have to cut some holes into this. Let's jump into the front view. Okay, so I think I'll just make one section with a hole, and then we'll just clone it around to get our full 4 holes. Okay, so let's use maybe 24 might be okay. Alright, so we'll say 24 sides. I think that'll be enough. Alright, and I'll just leave 2 cap segments on just for now, so it's a little easier to see what we're doing. Alright, and let's convert it to double poly. Okay, and we'll go to polygon and just delete 1/2 of it. Alright, delete, and I'm also going to delete another 1/4 of it. Okay, and let's exit polygon. Alright, so we're going to need an edge to center our hole on, so let's go to rotate, and I'm just going to turn off the angle snaps here. Alright, just spin this. Alright, I just want to have a straight edge in the center. Right, maybe like that. Okay. And we can go back to polygon now and just delete everything but the top. Alright, get rid of the sides. Alright, so we're left with just the strip. Okay, just like that. And we'll just center our hole right on the top here on this edge. Alright, so let's zoom in here. Alright, we can go into isolation mode, Alt-Q. Okay, and let's go to edge. And let's just add a couple support edges here to start. Okay, so we'll grab one of those edges and ring it. Alright, do a connect. Alright, we'll do 2 segments and just pinch them apart again. Alright, maybe 80 or so, and okay. Alright, and we'll grab a center one, ring, and do a connect. Just 1 segment right down the middle. Alright, so 0 pinch, 0 slide. Alright, just like we did with our previous holes. Okay, and now we'll jump out and go into the top view. Okay, and we'll just use a circle again here. Alright, so I'm going to exit edge. Go into the create panel over to shapes, grab a circle, and just drag one out of center on this point. Alright, it probably doesn't need to be very big. Those holes looked pretty tiny. Okay, so we'll just do maybe 1 on the radius. Alright, and zoom in here. I'm just going to center it on this intersection again. Okay. And we want to have 8 sides on our circle, so if yours has more, just go into the modify panel and open up interpolation, and just make sure your steps are set to 1. Okay. Alright, just like that. Okay, so let's select our top of our cylinder piece. Okay, and we'll just go down to cut, turn on our snaps again, and we'll just cut this in really quickly. Alright, just go along, clicking on each point like we did before. Alright, back to where we started, and right click to end. Alright, turn off cut, and I'm just going to hit H, select the circle 01, and delete it. Alright, I'm just going to change the color on this too, so it's easier to see. Alright, just like that, and let's go to vertex, and we'll just quad this up quickly. Alright, so I'm just going to grab 2 verts at a time and hit connect. Alright, all the way around, just like that. Okay, and then back to polygon one more time, select the 4 that make the hole, and inset them. Alright, just lower the amount down. Do maybe 0.05, and okay. Alright, let's jump out to perspective. Alright, so we'll just punch this in with extrude. Alright, so open up that and just lower it. Alright, you don't probably have to go too far. Negative 2.5 is probably fine. And I'm just going to leave it on group and hit OK. Alright, and we might as well straighten out the bottom of our hole here, so I'm just going to go to vertex. Alright, grab all the verts on the bottom. Okay, we'll do this in the front view. Alright, you can use the make planar if you want, or you can just go to scale and just scale it down on the y-axis until they're all flat. Alright, just like that. It doesn't have to be perfect. You know, you're never really going to be able to see in there anyway. It's so small. Alright, so exit vertex, back to perspective view. Alright, and we'll go back to polygon and just inset the bottom polygons again. And I'll just do it 0.05 one more time. Hit OK, and then we'll add some support with edge. Alright, so we'll grab one of these guys, do a ring and a connect, 2 segments, and just pinch them apart. Alright, maybe 90, and okay. Alright, so just like that, that should be fine. Let's exit edge. Alright, just going to chuck a turbo smooth on here really quickly, and just check it. Alright, so turbo smooth, 2 iterations, ISO on display. Alright, turn off edges, F4. Alright, so that's probably fine. Again, it's a really tiny detail. Okay, so it doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. Alright, so let's dump the turbo smooth. Okay, and we'll copy this around. Alright, so let's go into the front view for that. Okay, and for this I'm going to use the array tool instead of symmetry. Okay, so we'll go up to tools, down to array. Alright, and if you're not familiar with the array tool, it's pretty cool. It'll just give you copies around your pivot point. Okay, so we want to rotate our copies obviously into a circle, so we'll turn on rotate here by ticking off this little arrow. And we'll go over to the z-axis and just put in 360 degrees for our full circle. Okay, and then for our type of object we want to do copy, and then for our count we want to do 4. Okay, it's probably set to 10 by default. Right, so take it down to 4, and you can always hit preview here. Alright, to see what it's going to do. I'll show you back there. Alright, so that's fine. So we'll just hit OK. Alright, and let's check it out. Alright, so that looks pretty good. Alright, so let's attach them. Let's select the top piece there and just go down to attach. I'm going to open up the little box and just select all the cylinders and hit attach. Alright, so it's all attached together now. It just needs to be welded. Alright, so back over to vertex. And we'll just have to weld these center ones here. Alright, you can see we have 10, so we'll hit weld. Just make sure it changes to 5 so you know you got them all. Alright, let's do that on each of the 4 sides. And weld. Alright, so it's all one piece. Okay, so let's exit vertex, and we'll go to border. We're going to have to close the sides in, so let's select both borders, holding control. Okay, and we'll go up to scale, and I'm just going to scale them down holding shift. Alright, so we'll go down a little bit. Not too much, maybe like that. Okay, and I'm going to let go. And I'm going to scale them out a bit on the Y. Oh, let's do vertex. Control click vertex. Alright, and then scale on the Y. Just out a bit. Alright, just want to kind of round the edge over like that. Okay, and then back to border. Shift again, and we'll just scale it down on the triangle. Alright, just till the center gets pretty close together. Alright, maybe like that. Okay, and let's control click vertex one more time. And we'll just weld this together. Alright, so open up weld. Probably have to raise the threshold here, so we'll go up until they snap. Okay, on both sides. And hit OK. Alright, and let's go back to edge. Alright, I'm just going to drag through and grab all these edges on both sides, and we'll just do a connect. Alright, we'll add one more loop in here. Lower the pinch maybe a bit. I think I'll do maybe, let's get rid of that. I want to slide it, not pinch it. Alright, so one segment, I'll just slide it up towards the top a bit. Alright, maybe negative 80 and 1, and OK. Alright, so that's not looking too bad. Again, we are going to be subdividing this, and it's always best to aim to have quads in your mesh when you're going to do that. And you can see we have a whole whack of triangles right here. Okay, so we'll go into the front view and just clean that up quickly. Okay, so just make sure you don't have back facing turned on, and I'm just going to drag through and select every second set of edges in the center here, right? So I'm getting the ones on the front and the back at the same time. Alright, just like that. Check it out in perspective. Alright, every second one on both sides. And then we'll just remove them with control backspace. Alright, so now they're all quads. Okay. And just think we might want to add another support edge in this one here. So let's grab this edge and this edge and ring and connect. Alright, I'm just going to do one, and I'm just going to maybe move it up a bit. Alright, maybe negative 30 and OK. Alright, and that should do it. So let's exit edge and put our turbo smooth on it. Alright, and we'll do 2 iterations. Alright, it's going to look a little strange here just because of those triangle-shaped quads, but it's okay. It's not anything actually wrong. Alright, so we'll turn on A-line display and take a look with F4. Alright, so that's probably good for that piece, I think. Let's exit isolation mode and just see how it looks. Alright, just going to hit Z. Alright, looks okay. Alright, so let's throw the gray shader on there. Alright, we probably want to do a save now that that's finished.